Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the ThreeZero DLX Optimus Primal Beast Wars Universe Edition exclusive version DLX collectible figure from Transformers Rise of the Beasts. That was my first take. I thought for sure I was going to mess that up. I did a short on this guy the other day, and you guys said you wanted me to review it, and it's a gorgeous figure, so I'm happy to do it. I said you can't get this anymore, and what I meant was the exclusive version that comes with a couple extra accessories, but you can still buy this guy in general. I'll show you which things are exclusive. There's a link in the description below at Big Bad Toy Store if you want to get him. I'll talk about pricing in a minute. But yes, you can still buy this figure in general, just not the exclusive version. That was a limited time release. They had it on their official website for a while. I didn't get it then because I was like, I don't know. And then sold out right away. And then Sideshow had them for a little while, and I pre-ordered one there. So that's how I got mine. But as of right now, I don't believe there's any place you can get the exclusive version other than like secondhand, but you can get the regular one. So anyway, this is a pretty cool figure. We're going to review it. Let's get it off the stand and take a closer look. Okay, before we look at the figure though, let's take a look at the package. It's a really, really big one. I didn't see my package. I missed an opportunity to make a joke. Oh well, it's too big, so I can't really get it any closer to the camera than this, and it's as far back as I can get it where I can reach it, and the camera is all the way panned out. So anyway, it's a nice looking package. No window on the outside. It is a flip flap though. I'll show you that in a second. But the photos on it are very nice. Maybe they're renders. They look like photos to me, though. It could just be really nice rendering. But they look like photos with obviously some extra editing. But yeah, it's a nice looking package for sure. And so that's cool. And then you do get, like I said, the flippity flap. And there you go, you get another photo there. Your box will be different because this is an exclusive thing, by the way. So is this. So your box will be slightly different if you buy just the regular one, and then giant window for the figure. So that's pretty cool. They do good packaging for sure. They usually have a lot of Photoshop work. This one doesn't seem to have as much, but maybe I'm just crediting the render more than I should because maybe it is Photoshop. Okay, so here we have it. He's a bigger figure. I haven't reviewed a big one in a while. So, like I said, he is available for pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store if you want the regular, non-exclusive version. I don't know where you can get the exclusive version, if anywhere. You'll have to do your own digging for that. I know it's sold out at Sideshow, which is where I got mine, and then I know it's sold out on their website too. So unless they're doing some kind of reissue, the exclusive is going to be a secondhand sort of thing. The regular version of this guy, the non-blue and red and white version of this guy is like $250, I think, right now. So just like the standard movie colors, the gray and brown, which made him look so drab and boring. And if you want the blue, red, and white version, the Beast Wars cartoon looking one, this one's, I think, around $280 on Big Bad Toy Store's website, which I think is reasonable because I paid, after shipping and tax and everything, I think I paid like $320 from Sideshow. So I think the Big Bad Toy Store price is just what the price is, that there's not really a significant amount of markup. So yeah, he's an expensive boy, that's for sure, but he's Optimus Primal, one of my absolute all-time favorite characters, and I was going to get one of these, or I was going to repaint mine, perhaps, of the movie version to look like this anyway. And now I don't have to because this looks freaking cool. So let's get into it. He stands, there's my 12-inch ruler. He's basically 12 inches if you count different parts of him, but his head's a little shy. It's like, well, let's say 29 centimeters, give or take. It's a touch over, and that's going to be just shy of 12. It's like 11 and a half inches probably, not counting his guns. So he does have some size to him, but he is expensive, and I don't mind. I think ThreeZero is one of the best companies in the game right now. They make very specific products, obviously, but damn do they do a good job. I think dollar per quality, however you want to word that, it's hard to beat ThreeZero. They put a ton of detail into these figures and they look fantastic, and this one's no different. However, I do have a defect on mine, as you probably are not surprised to hear. If you look, I need to get a different figure to do this. If you look right here, there's two little notches that his little forehead piece kind of fit into. They should both be the size of that little notch. This one's bigger on this side, and so I have to tell him, hey, I need a new headpiece. They usually were pretty good about warranty support, so we'll see. But other than that, man, well, I guess I can zoom back in. This thing is just beautiful. He does light up, by the way. His eyes light up red. They don't look super bright on camera because there's a lot of studio lighting. They're tiny little holes, so you don't get a whole lot of light coming out there anyway. But they do make the eyes actually look red, so that's cool. But yeah, the detailed paintwork on this guy is just really, really nice. It's really well done. I don't care for the fact that the eyes are kind of just black when they're not lit up. but there's not a whole lot they can do about that really. But tons of really nice sculpt and paint work. This guy happens to have that sort of battle damage look to begin with, and it really brings the figure to life with all the extra paint work rather than just being brown and ugly. So let me zoom back out a little bit. You can see it's just, this paint job brings this character design to life so much better. I didn't even think to grab my black one. I have the standard one, but they wouldn't have fit on camera anyway. It's just, well, you've probably seen it. It's all black. It's so boring looking compared to this. And it's a Michael Bay movie design. Why couldn't they just do it? Just go for it. You're already talking about robotic gorillas. Just freaking do the colors, man. Come on, man. I feel like Michael Bay and Todd have a lot in common. I don't know why. Anyway, he looks gorgeous. There's dry brushing and washing and metallics and flats, and it's just the battle, like, it's not really battle damage in terms of the paint. I guess it is. There's schmutz on there. It looks so, so nice. So good. I love this. I didn't bother reviewing the all black one because it was so drab and bland. It's like, well, if you want to get it, you'll probably just be bored with it right away. Not this one. This thing's a standout, gorgeous, beautiful thing. Sculpt is fantastic. Man, it looks good. Okay, so aesthetically, I'm going to go 9.9 out of 10. Yeah, you know, there are some issues here and there. Like, it could be better, technically. And mine has a QC issue, but damn, it looks good. Oh, man. If you like Optimus Primal from the show, or from the original show, and not from this movie, this is something you need to get. It's so freaking cool. Alright, now as far as the accessories go, obviously this guy has new things for him that the original black version doesn't have, like the cannons all over the place. I'm not going to separate this one from that because there's a bunch of stuff, but I am going to tell you which ones are exclusive for the exclusive version, which is not actually that much, but we'll see. So, we have 3 different face plates. We have the monkey face plate, which I don't know why anybody would ever use with this version, but you do get it. That's the default one, actually. And then you get the closed mouth and open mouth one. Both of those represent, obviously, the original Beast Wars design. Both of them look great. I love that. And then we get, which is a throwback to the old toy, the mutant mask, or whatever you want to call it. And that just snaps in as one of the face plates, and it looks really cool. Now, technically, the eyes do still kind of light up behind there. I doubt I'll be able to show you. I'll try. They barely show up lighting up through the mask, but boy, does that mask look cool. Very cool. Side note, I have to mention this, guys. The Flame Toys, the Optimus Primal that had the alternate version with the mask, I didn't buy the alternate version with the mask. If anyone out there has it, and you want to sell it or let me borrow it so I can make a copy of the mask, please let me know. It's the Flame Toys Optimus Primal, whatever those are called, Fury Action, maybe, I think is what it is. Anyway, you get the mask. That is one of the exclusive items. Alright, we'll get to the other ones in a minute. You get a bunch of hands, a decent spread, not a ton, I guess, but everything you would need, so that's pretty cool. And then you get his 2 swords. Now, the 2 swords, they both work like his normal swords. They can also peg into his forearms in an awkward way. I don't like that. You do also get 2 little clips that can go on his back to hold the swords in place. That's kind of a throwback to the original figure, so that's pretty cool. And then you can also pop them together using either the chain or this other piece to make them just like a double-bladed weapon. So a lot of versatility there for the swords. I think the swords are for the original figure, though. No, I think the chain's just the extra piece. I'll check to make sure on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. And then you do get his mace, or flail, and that is one of the exclusive items as well. And so he can hold that just like a regular mace, or you can take it apart and connect it to the chains to make it more like a flail, and that is obviously a throwback to the original figure, so that's pretty cool. You do get the 2 forearm guns, which they didn't put a ton of effort into this. They're just magnetic and go on top of the arms that would have already been there. It's good enough. It definitely does the job. They sit in place nicely, but I would like to see a little bit more of like an opening mechanism. Like there's no... It doesn't actually look like they're coming out. It looks like they're glued on top. But whatever, they still look freaking cool, so that's nice. And then you get the cannons for the back and the clips to hold them on the back, which go in the same spot as the clips to hold the swords. So you can't hold the swords and the cannons at the same time on his back. That's kind of irritating to me. But the cannons do have this slip joint mechanism, so they can move forward. The only downside to these cannons is they are on a ball socket, and both of my ball sockets have the same issue on the inside of the socket, and it makes them very loose. And I don't know if that's intentional. Maybe they were too tight and they just effed up the mold to make it not too tight anymore. I don't know. They stay in place, but they are very, very loose. They won't flop, but they are annoyingly loose. But yeah, you can slip those up and down, and those work relatively well. And then, I think almost lastly, we have the little missiles that go in the cannons like the old toy, and they fire pretty well. Those are pretty cool. And I think the last thing I need to mention, yeah, is the display stand, the base, and that's fine. It's a relatively standard looking thing. But that's a good spread of accessories. As far as I'm aware, and I'll correct myself in the post if I'm wrong, the only two things that actually make this exclusive would be the mace and the face mask. I wanted those things. I don't know if it's going to be worth it to you guys in the secondhand market to try to track those down. Frankly, unless you really care about those, I would not bother paying a lot extra. It depends. I'm guessing the exclusive version is going to go for a lot secondhand, so you probably are going to have to pay a lot for those two things. Otherwise, it's still a huge upgrade. And that's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to review it, is the blue, red, and white, bluish, red and white, looks so much better than the standard one that it's worth the upcharge. It's like 35 bucks or something like that. Get this one. Plus, you get the cannons. The forearm guns make it right there. The back cannons, oh, man. And I'm pretty sure the swords are standard. I'll have to check. But, yeah, it's totally worth it for me. So, accessory-wise, exclusive version, 9.9 out of 10. It's still pretty darn good. Non-exclusive version, I'll say 9 out of 10. The mask and the mace missing isn't great, but it's still plenty of accessories that really help to make the figure pretty cool, including these forearm guns. That's a big plus. Okay, so now we're going to pop these off. And we're going to pop... Well, I guess we don't have to pop those off. So let's talk about articulation. This is going to be a little tricky because this figure's kind of a finicky, annoying turd. Not really a turd in like the really negative sense, in like the loving sense. There's a lot of parts that move on this guy that aren't really... You don't really want him to move. Like, this tabs in and it can move. I'm not sure what the point is other than to keep it from breaking. So there's lots of things that can flex and pop off. These guys like to pop off if you're not too careful. Things like that, it's kind of annoying. But we'll see what we can do. So first of all, the head and neck move. The neck has like a hinge in there that lets the whole thing move, then the head moves around on a ball peg. He doesn't have the best neck range or head range. Like, I can't rotate his head any farther to the side. That's it. So it could be better for sure. It'll do, and it looks nice, but it could be better. This piece, I'm not sure why they did this, unless they did it so that you could move it back. I don't know, like, obviously you can move it back, but it's meant to go down forward. It's on like a double hinge. So it's meant to be like that, and maybe that's how it was in the movie, and then they made it like this for this version so that it sits back farther. I don't know. I don't know what the point of that is. I kind of like having it back and giving his neck some more room, but you can do either one. But so you get lots of things that move around like that. Like I told you, these guys I already mentioned they're on the slip joint there. The shoulders have a really effective butterfly. The entire torso chunk moves almost like a Riveltech, and it doesn't look the best from the back, but it's acceptable. It's fine. I'll show you as we do this one. It really gets a lot of range. So if you want to do some monkey poses, you could do that. But it does get a little bit, his chest gets a little bit freakishly broad when you do that, but you do get the extra range in there, and it's really well executed, I think, for the most part. Oh, by the way, we need to do a cute question of the day. Monkey or truck? I just need to hear monkey or truck from you guys. If you're watching, the least you could do is just answer that. Please do it. The question of the day helps the algorithm, and it's fun to see monkey or truck. I know there's a lot of diehard truck people, but for me, it's monkey all the way. All right, so for the shoulders, on top of that butterfly joint, you get an internal joint that lets the whole shoulder raise up. It's not going to be super easy for me to show you that, but you can see that part moves up and down. It also moves forward and back on its own. So that piece right there is like another butterfly joint, not even counting the giant butterfly joint. So that's pretty cool. Shoulder pads aren't as nice as I would have expected. They're on a hinge. They do move. Like, they wiggle around a little bit and they move, but I was hoping for a little bit more, but it's all right. And then, of course, you can raise the arms up to better than horizontal, no problem at all, using the combination of those two joints. You do get a bicep swivel. You have to be careful, though. This wasn't the smartest design. This piece right here bumps into this piece here. Or at least it can, I should say. It doesn't always. It depends on how you have his arm posed. But it can definitely do it. So if his arms are down, it bumps. If his arms are out, it doesn't. So that can just be a little bit annoying. But he does have the bicep swivel, so that's cool. And this piece has a hinge on it. Or at least it's just loose, I don't know. But it pops off. So just be aware, you have a lot of kibbly pieces that can be annoying. Double jointed elbow works pretty darn nicely. You have a lot of parts that are made to look like they're actually functional, like pistons and things. They do move, but obviously they're not... He's not an actual robot. But yeah, the elbow works pretty nicely. He gets good range out of that. You can get him into a nice boxer pose, no problem. So that's pretty cool. The forearm pieces have a hinge in them to go forward and back. so they can go back that way. I guess you would do that maybe if you're sticking the swords in there, but they do have a mechanism. You can do them either way. I leave them forward because I don't like the way that looks. But those move. These guys move too. I don't know how much do they actually move. Yeah, they go back pretty far. I don't know that you were gonna need to do that for this version of Primal, but you can. You get the hinge on there, which it's fine. It just gets it out of the way some too if you're posing him. And then for the fist or the hand, it's just a ball peg. If these parts right here are supposed to move, I can't get them to move. They don't want to move, so I think they're just supposed to be fixed. Okay, now moving on to the torso. You already saw the butterfly joints. He does lean. See, these guys pop off way too easily. He does lean side to side pretty well. I mean, for a giant robot, you'd think you'd be able to do a pretty good job, and they did. They did a good job, and this is why I like articulated Transformers more than I like transforming Transformers, because you get better range. So this part wiggles on here, which doesn't do anything, but you do get an ab crunch that kind of tucks in on itself, and it ends up being a really nice ab crunch. He gets good range out of it, so that's pretty cool. The pistons back here actually function. I mean, you know, artificially function, but yeah, he's nice. It's nice. Doesn't go back any farther than that. This part wiggling is annoying. I'm not sure if that's just an accident, like a side effect of the way they designed him, but it does do that. You do get your rotation out of there, not counting the butterfly joint, and you get rotation out of down here as well. It'll move more, but the butt piece does get in the way. Luckily, they've made it so that you can move the butt piece. So if you need to rotate his torso more, you can get that butt piece out of the way. So I'd say that's pretty good torso articulation for a Transformer, for a robot. For the hip pieces or thigh pieces, these wiggle around just to help you get a little bit extra range out of the hips. But there is one downside to these hips, is they do have that swing joint like this. That silver part in there, you can kind of just see the edge of it. That part swings, which is annoying. I mean, it's useful sometimes for sure, and you can get a really, really high... Can you go even higher? Yeah, you can get a really high kick out of that, which is great for superhero poses and things like that. So it does do its job, but it does sometimes swing instead of move the actual hip joint, which he does have a nice hip joint in there. So you're going to just have to be careful playing with that. You can get tons of range out of it. And you probably saw they did one of their slip joints like they do on Iron Man in order to get good range out of the hips, but you're going to have to use that slip or the swing joint plus the hip joint in order to make the clearance. It'll work, and he has really good range, but it is a fairly complex joint, but it does work, so I'm okay with that. And obviously you do get a thigh swivel, so they really did a good job on this guy. It is a fantastic figure, but let's move on before I gush any more about the knees. And this guy's heavy, there's a lot of metal in him, and I'm holding him so far forward in front of myself. I'm actually going out of breath. It's hard to talk and breathe and not go out of breath in the first place, but when you're holding a heavy figure like this at arm's length, it's annoying. So anyway, the knees work. You have a joint down here and then another joint at the top with different functioning pistons and things, and he gets really, really good range out of that. Pistons and hinges and stuff. It's pretty nice. It's not the best looking thing, the way this sticks out, but it's still pretty darn good, so I like that. And then back here, this piece looks like it would move. It doesn't move. I thought it would actually open up or something, but it doesn't. But for in here, for the ankle, you do get a ball peg. I believe there's a ball peg. Is there a ball peg? There's not a ball peg? There's not a ball peg. Okay, there's not a ball peg. The ankle has decent range at the top here, like that. This little red thing doesn't actually connect to anything, it just looks like it does. So you get your ankle rocker there too, so that's decent range. And then you get the toe hinge too. So that's pretty good. Yes, that's nice. I am done holding that guy. Wow, that was very tiring. He's not that heavy, but he's like 3 or 4 pounds, which is obviously not that much, but you hold it at arm's length for 20 minutes while talking and see if you can keep talking without taking a deep breath from time to time. So yeah, his articulation works pretty darn well. It's a little finicky in some places and annoying, but it does work. You will be able to pose him. And he's a very solid figure in terms of being able to pose and stand still. Like, he's not going to crumple or anything like that. So I'll give the articulation a 9 out of 10. It's really good. I don't like how many things pop off. It's not that bad. I've had worse, honestly. But there are some annoyances. So, time for the final verdict after a really long review that I didn't expect to be that long. It's a gorgeous figure. If you are not absolutely diehard set on having the mask, just buy the regular version. It's fine. It's definitely good enough. Like, I love the mask. I wanted to have it, and it looks great, but I'm gonna have this face showing most of the time anyway. So I don't think it's something you're gonna absolutely feel like you're missing out on, probably. And the figure itself just looks so dang good. Man, I didn't expect to like it as much as I do. I expected to think, well, I liked the black version well enough, and the paints are gonna make it cooler, but I'm not gonna care that much about it. But I freaking love this thing. It's great. I'm going to give it an overall rating of 9.8 out of 10. A few nagging issues here and there, and it is expensive, but this is an exceptional release. The articulation's really well done. The sculpt and paint are really well done. The accessories are nice. It has great shelf appeal. Great figure to have, guys. I definitely recommend it. So let me know what you think in the comment section below, but that's it for me. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.